The traditional firefighting job has changed. Since I've been on the job for 37 years. I started in January of '77. When I first came on the job, our only job then was fighting fires. We had many fires. Now is starting to change towards, we have more medical calls than we have anything else. We have probably 75% of calls are medical related. And yes, we're not carrying someone out of the window. That's what we would hope for, to carry someone out of a window, come down a ladder and get all these accolades. It doesn't happen like you see it on TV. What really happens is we come across medical calls. And medical calls are these young people that have their whole life ahead of them, that have succumbed to drugs. And when they do, we help them. The Narcan program, before it started, when we responded to drug overdoses, we had no other tools to keep that person alive outside of our CPR. And also, we had to wait for the ambulance to respond to that call, because the ambulance were the only people then that carried the Narcan to reverse the effects of an opiate or overdoses. So relatively our hands were tied until the ambulance got there.
Prior to Narcan, when we would respond to overdoses, very rarely did they ever regain consciousness in our care. They would have to be transported to the hospital, where they would eventually be administered Narcan at the hospital, but they would be down for quite a while before they got that treatment.
There's a period of 4 to 6 minutes. A person without oxygen, their brain functions start deteriorating considerably in that time frame. Waiting for the ambulance sometimes was longer than that 4 to 6 minutes. So we're waiting for Narcan. Sometimes it was longer than we had hoped for. And yeah, yes, there were lives lost. They awarded us a contract to carry Narcan for a 1-year trial. We were the only fire department at the time, statewide, and we believe nationwide, were able to carry it on all apparatus. We trained all of our members on the use of Narcan and what to expect when the effects have finally worn off. The resistance came within the fire department. I believe it was people's personal beliefs. They cast a stigma around drug overdoses and what that person was. I had to change people's opinion and let them know that that person had loved ones that would hope that we do everything to save that person. Narcan was another tool for us to help someone survive and hopefully get into recovery. I think the change came when the first person, a month after we were able to carry it on our apparatus, we started carrying it in February of 2010. In March of 2010, we had our first use.
911, this line is being recorded.
I need help.
What's your problem, ma'am?
I'm with my boyfriend. I don't know. He's really sick. He passed out.
Is he breathing?
We received a 911 call for a possible overdose. The patient was blue, no pulse, not breathing. My driver administered the Narcan, and within a few moments, color came back and the man started breathing, and his pulse came back very dramatically. Me and my crew had a great week that week. It's quite a tremendous feeling.
So it truly worked, and I think as people started hearing the stories about how effective it was, we were able to use it more and more frequently. The first year was kind of limited. We had about 10 uses. But since that time in 2010, as of today, we're up to 93 uses in that 3-year span. We use Narcan on an average of once a week. We use our defibrillator at best once a month. Our community, since we adopted the Narcan policy, they're quite interested and quite concerned about the drug problem in Revere. And they're also thankful that the fire department has taken on the initiative to help that drug problem. And one of it is by carrying this nasal Narcan. There have been many articles published in our local paper about how we use Narcan, how we've saved lives. We've saved teenagers, we've saved 20-year-olds and 30 years old, all because of the use of this Narcan program. 7 or 8 years ago, we started a memorial down the beach, the 3rd Sunday of every September, to remember people who have lost their lives to drug and alcohol abuse. It became a community event. The event is starting to lift the stigma of the drug use in the communities. And to see the people that are out there and the faces, it's comforting, I believe, to some of these people to look around and see these people that have gone through the same hell that they've had.
Cindy Hassey, Stephen Grayson, Stacy Goldstein, Josh Joseph, Stacy Johnson, Jesse Jones, Reuben Justice,
if you've saved one person's life in your whole career, that's your lifetime in the fire department. That's what you're on this job. When you take this job, that's what we strive for, to save a life. Doesn't have to be carrying the damsel in distress down a 35-foot ladder with flames coming out of the window. You're saving a young person now. This person has his whole life to go on, and hopefully he'll do the right thing. And maybe someday he'd be a firefighter. That's what we hope for. Just to save a life. It doesn't make a difference how we do it, how things have changed. We've saved a life, you know.